Well, good morning, Southern Colorado. Thanks for joining me on 11 News at 9. I'm Rebecca Gabosden. Hope everyone's enjoying the start to your weekend. December really is flying by. Before we take a look at the weather, we have an 11 breaking news alert we want to get to right away. In world news from overnight and this morning, we've learned that 11 people were killed and 29 were injured in a shooting on Australia's Bondi Beach. One associate pastor is sleeping outside to raise awareness and accept donations for those experiencing homelessness in our community. And I'm with that associate pastor, Michelle Reckel. And Michelle, yesterday it was your first night sleeping outside. Yesterday, protesters gathered downtown to rally against recent ICE arrests here and across the country.
A sentence of life in prison. This is for the man who pled guilty to murdering 4 college students at their rental home in Idaho back in 2022.
That man, he was in court yesterday, and families of the victims and their surviving roommates confronted 30-year-old Brian Kohberger, sharing words of sadness, anger, and even forgiveness. In other crucial news, a Colorado child is safe after leading law enforcement on a chase in a golf cart that happened over the weekend. This video shows part of that chase. It originally started out as a missing person case in Palisade. The Denver Broncos kicked off their first game in the best possible way. They got the blowout win against the San Francisco 49ers. Yesterday, Sophie, that number was 160 people unaccounted for, and that number just continues to rise. The nation is mourning the loss of a humanitarian and 39th president of the United States. We're taking a live look now at the White House, where the flag is flying half-staff for the former president, Jimmy Carter. Local residents are currently displaced after a Colorado Springs apartment complex caught on fire Sunday morning. Colorado Springs leaders are working to figure out how they're going to make up an 8-figure budget shortfall. We're going to start with the South Rim fire that's still burning in the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. Last night, we did learn that fire is now 21% contained. Multiple structures have been destroyed, but no homes so far, thankfully. Sky and Amanda are the brother and sister-in-law of the alleged Epstein victim, Virginia Guffrey, who was an outspoken advocate for sex trafficking survivors before she died by suicide earlier this year. If it was like today, really cold outside, and I was taking a cold plunge, oh boy, I would need to be in the sauna ASAP after.
Right, yeah, honestly.
Many of you might remember President Trump's announcement of U.S. Space Command moving to Huntsville, Alabama. We're now following up on the Secretary of War's visit to Huntsville, where he revealed the sign for the new location. We want to wish you the proper theater way. Break a leg when it comes to your Thursday show. More jobs are coming to the Pikes Peak region, which is good news to hear, of course. Colorado Springs and state leaders announced the expansion of a technology company in the region yesterday. An investigation is underway following an officer-involved shooting that happened in Security Widefield overnight. Now, this scene is still ongoing. We're going to give you a live look there. We have our 11 News reporter, Lindsay Gruey, out on Fontaine and Mark Sheffel. Can you tell me a little bit about the celebratory event and what all is going to be happening and available for people that attend?
Absolutely. Kwanzaa is celebrated December 26th.
Rain is knocking on Colorado Springs doors, so we should be seeing some showers coming up here pretty soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining 11 Alert Plus. I'm your digital anchor, Rebecca Gavosden. We appreciate you supporting local journalism. Now, many of you might have been tracking this Hurricane Melissa. That's what we're going to talk about next. We have some big news pertaining to that. So officials in Jamaica say there's extensive damage. You can see that on your screen right now in parts of the island nation after Hurricane Melissa made landfall as a massive Category 5 yesterday. The storm has also been blamed for several deaths there and throughout the Caribbean. The hurricane brought heavy rains and strong winds, leaving roads flooded and debris scattered across the affected areas. Well, I'll take colder temperatures on Halloween than rain or snow.
Right.
So
yeah, you may just need to grab the jacket, you know, just in case at times to kind of get it over your costume.
Yeah, or put some of those, what I used to do when it was cold on Halloween, those thermal shirts. Layer 1 or 2 underneath and put those like thermal pants on, and you can still showcase your Halloween costume without wearing a coat.
And it's not below 0 or anything, but it's going to be a bit chilly.
It's going to be a bit nippy.
Yeah,
a bit
so
nippy
just keep an eye
out
on
there.
that. A bit nippy. Yeah, there you go. Nippy on Halloween.
Kevin will be back at 11 News at 9, along with our anchors to talk
We'll do our
about
best.
more weather conditions
Oh, look at
and
this.
important headlines that we're keeping track of, like Hurricane Melissa and the government shutdown. Beautiful shot here of the Front Range, just gorgeous. We're starting to see that beautiful sunrise reflect on the mountains. Thanks so much for joining 11 Alert Plus. Bye-bye now. Welcome to 11 Alert Plus. I'm your digital anchor, Rebecca Gavosden. We appreciate you tuning in. So one thing that we want to start off with is we do have some recent closures and delays that we just got to the newsroom. So I'm going to go over a few of them. I have a list right over here, right next to me. So give me just a second to make sure I have everything. So one, Banning Lewis Ranch, Banning Lewis Academy, all campuses are closed. That was just updated. Moving on down to D11, opening 2 hours late still. District 12 Cheyenne Mountain, closed. District 14 Manitou Springs, closed. District 2 Harrison, closed. There are no injuries following a structure fire in Colorado Springs. 2 people are without a home this morning as a result of the fire. Firefighters received word of the fire around 11:30 last night. They say it only took around 15 minutes to knock the fire out. Firefighters say both residents were outside when they arrived and were able to get their pets out as well. That's really good news to hear. A lieutenant says while there were no injuries to firefighters, the snow and ice made it a little tricky. This happened at a townhouse complex that is near Uinta and 21st Street. The cause of the fire is still being investigated.